Hello, my elegant tribe. I took a decision behind my husband's back some decades ago, even though my husband had already told me that we're going to leave a wide gap between our son and the next child. But then it happened on a Sunday after the church service. I was busy in the kitchen preparing lunch. Then I had this foreboding about my son. Immediately, I left what I was doing to look out for him. I searched our apartments. I didn't see him. Then I went outside to look for him. I started calling his name. Then I heard his tiny voice from a distance. I traced the voice to the backyard where a snake had been killed to this prayer. When he saw me, he chuckled. But then something dropped in my spirit right there. That it's time for him to have a sibling. With that, I set my husband up. In today's video, we'll be talking about another area of abandonment by husbands. I actually didn't want to talk about today's video, but then God kept bringing it up. Then I realized that God actually wanted me to touch today's video. But before we do so, if you are coming across my video for the first time, my name is Abigail. Even though people call me the elegant woman, my mission is to guide us through the path of refinement and sophistication so that we may all realize our full potentials as individuals. And if you have yet to subscribe to my channel, kindly do so right now. Hit the notification button so that you don't miss out on any of my videos. Then give this video a thumbs up. Comment. I want to know whether you are gaining something from my teachings. And then share with friends and family members. Without further ado, let us dive into today's video. By the time my husband realized that I was pregnant, I was 6 weeks gone. And it was because he tasted my stew and realized that it was peppery. Then he turned to me and said, Ibi, otiloyun abi, meaning Ibi, you are pregnant, right? I said yes. And I went ahead to narrate what happened that Sunday afternoon. He looked at me and said, it's okay. God will help us take care of the baby. And just like he said, God helped us to take care of the baby. Even after Israel's passing, God remained faithful. Unfortunately, not every husband would take that from his wife. Some will even prioritize the woman to have an abortion. And that's the case of a man that we lived in the same house many years ago. By the time he realized that his wife was pregnant, he gave her two options. Number one, to abort the baby. Then number two, to bear the financial burden of the baby from the pregnancy to the university level. Because to him, it was done with having children. But the wife chose to have the baby. And true to his threats, he abandoned the baby for the wife to the knowledge of every tenant in the house. May I sound this once again, that no child is to be rejected or maltreated because of a mistake that happens between a man and his wife. That no child is a product of mistake. In the book of Jeremiah chapter 1, God told Jeremiah that before Jeremiah was formed in his mother's belly, that he knew Jeremiah and that he had ordained him right from the belly to be a prophet to the nations. That means when the sperm of Jeremiah's father hatched the egg of Jeremiah's mother, God knew about it and God was in the process. That means by the time Jeremiah was still in the liquid form, when he had not taken the form of a human being, God knew about it. And that time, that moment, God ordained him to be a prophet to the nations. And if you are a student of the Bible, you will agree with me that Jeremiah was one of the major prophets that God used in Israel during his time. And that is to tell you that God has a plan for every child that surfaces on earth. Dear husbands, may I tell you that mistakes do happen. Family planning methods fail at times. And when any family methods fail, embrace your child, because you don't know whether this baby that you are pressurizing your wife to abort is an answer to your prayer. You don't know whether this child that you are neglecting, because in your own thinking, he is the product of mistake between you and your wife. You don't know whether he is the one that God has ordained as another Joseph that will provide for his people in times of famine. Perhaps he is the next Esther that God will use to speak with the enemy at the gates. You are not even aware whether she is going to be the next Deborah that will lead the next Barak to the war and win. Or you don't know whether he's going to be the next Moses that will lead his people from the house of bondage. Neither do you know whether he's the next Joshua that will lead your family, your generation, your posterity to the promised land. No child deserves maltreatment. And if you allow your child to know that all the hatred that you are giving him, all the negative vibes that you are giving him is because he is unwanted in your family, I can bet it with you that you are going to have it come back to you. Good mayor, pressed down, shaking together, and running over. It's just a matter of time. This is where we are going to draw the curtain for today's teaching. And I do want to believe that you have gained value for your time. Thank you so much for watching. Until some other time when we'll be meeting, I say shalom.